Welcome to all the learners of the course Programming in Python. In this lecture of Programming in Python course, we are going to discuss the tuples data structure. Right? Tuple is one of the significant data structure in Python. Right? It is often used in all the Python programming, and it is actually an efficient data structure in Python. So tuple is a collection which is ordered and unchangeable. I made it bold for a particular meaning. Why? Because we have already seen list data structure in the previous videos, and this unchangeable characteristic of tuple is a primary difference between list and the tuple, right? So we will see how it is actually working everything, right? So now we will see how can I declare and initialize a tuple in Python. Right? So we have a variable t1 which is initialized with a sequence. My sequence here is apple, comma, banana, comma, cherry. I have three strings here. These three strings are separated by commas and enclosed inside round brackets. This is what you need to understand, right? Previously in list, we used square brackets. Now we are using round brackets. So the difference is here coming with respect to the enclosing performances, right? So that is here the thing is square bracket, and here the thing is round brackets, right? So tuple comes with round brackets, and it can also store data items of any data type, right? Not restricted only with strings. It can store data items of any data type. So I have a tuple declare inside round brackets. I just print it out and I get the result apple, banana, and cherry. Right? Now we will see how to access and index tuples. Right? Accessing and indexing is also very similar to list data structure. The indexing of tuples also start from 0 and it proceeds with an incrementation 0, 1, 2. And it also consists of negative indexing, which starts from -1, -2, -3. That is from rear end I count, so it is negative indexing. So I can go from front to rear as well as come from rear to front. The former case I called it as positive indexing, and the later one is actually called as negative indexing. So I can access tuples using the tuple data structure name. Here my name is tu with the index enclosed inside square bracket. So I say here tu of 1, which corresponds to my first index, which is klu. And if I say tu of -1, it corresponds to this negative index -1. I'll get s or m. In this way, I get these two outputs printed out, right? So these are actually the ways of accessing and indexing in tuple data structure. Coming into range with slice operation, right? We know that colon is a slicing operator in Python, and it is actually used to group the required data items from a data structure. How it is actually used? The similar case. If I need to group, let me have the indexing. This is Python as 0, PHP 1, Java 2, C++ 3, C4, HTML 5, and I have MongoDB in 6. Right? I have these things. So my length of this tuple is 7. So my positive index starts from 0 and ends in n-1, that is 6. Similarly, if I go for the negative indexing, MongoDB is -1, HTML is -2. I go like in the same way, right? From the rear end, I go with the negative indexing. That is C is -3, C++ is -4, Java is -5, PHP is -6, Python is -7, and so on. right? I have the negative index, right? So if I need to group them in from using a range, I can specify the start index and end index. My start index is 2, so it need to start from Java and it need to proceed until 5, that is HTML. But we know that when I specify the range operation using slice, I will not take the last index into consideration. So my answer will include Java, C++, and C, which I got here. Java, C++, and C. So corresponding to the index 2, 3, and 4. 5 will not be taken into consideration because it is the last index. Similarly, I can obtain the same result using negative indexing. How can I do it? If I need to access it, I can get, it is actually getting to be Java, C++, and C. We will see what output I will get for this. For this, we will find what is the output, right? These outputs is different. I will not get minus tu of -4 colon -1. I will get an output as C++, that is index -4. Next, I will get C, which corresponds to index -3. Next, I will get HTML, which corresponds to -2. And -1, I will not consider because it is the last index in my range. So I will not take -1, right? So this will be obtained as output when I print. This is actually round brackets, okay? When I print this, I will get print tu of -4 colon -1. I get C++ C HTML. What I will do to get this output Java C++ C? I just need to do tu of, right? I need to access from Java, right? So what I will do, I will say -5 colon, that is the slicing operation, up to C I need to get. So C is up to -3, then I need to proceed with -2. So -2 will not be considered. So I'll get from Java, C++, and C, right? Now you understood clearly, I hope, right? Now we know how to get a range of data items from a tuple, right? Either using that slicing operation, I can go with the data items, or if the data items is given, I can also specify how to do the slicing. We have done both, right? So that's it with range of indexes and negative index, right? Now changing tuple values, right? You should not change a tuple value once it is initialized. For example, here x of 0 corresponds to SQL, x of 1 is C++, and x of 2 is PHP. I cannot say x of 1 is equal to a different item. For example, if I cannot say x of 1 is equal to C, it is actually previously C++, I cannot say it as C. It is wrong actually. Why? You are actually changing a data item in tuple, which is actually not allowed. If you have initialized a data item in tuple, it should not be changed further. That is actually the primary rule in tuple, right? Actually, I will say that is the main difference between list and tuple, right? So this difference also makes tuple more efficient in terms of other data structure. Why? Because it will not modify its data items frequently. So your processing is actually preserved, right? But still, you can actually modify this particular item. How I can do it is just convert this x into a list. How can I do it? I want to convert it into a list. So just to say list of x. Yes, x will be converted into a list y. Now y is a list with the same items SQL, C++, PHP enclosed inside square brackets. Now a list is a mutable data structure. I will change the first data item of y, which is C++ into Java. Now I will again change x is equal to tuple of y. Now y is having SQL, Java, PHP. So when I change it into a tuple, it will get updated with the new x. Now x is entirely changed to a new instance. Now if you print, I will get this Java updated. An indirect way of updating this, right? So by default, you cannot change a tuple directly, but you can do these kind of gimmicks like converting the tuple into a list, working on the list, and then converting the list back into tuple. You can do that, right? So that is one way. Now using loops and conditional statements in tuple, right? If I need to access all the element in a tuple, what I can do is I can just have my tuple, say for example, tu is equal to qt, tk, python. Now for x in tu, so what does x means? X is a variable. So it means for x in tu refers to every element in tu will be substituted for x for each iteration. So x will be initially qt. So I'm printing qt. Next, in the next iteration, I'll get tk. So I'll print tk. In this next iteration, I'll get python. Yes, I will print python. So x will get the items of tu one by one, and it will be printed accordingly as given in the instruction print x. If I come for conditional statement, if, what will happen? Tu is equal to php, sql, c++. If sql, I'm taking an item. This item is in tu. Yes, as I already said, Python requires a simple English knowledge and mathematical background. With that, you can master Python. See how easy it is. If SQL in TU, right? What does it mean? I'm checking whether an item is present in TU. Yes, if it is present, you say me print as it is, right? It is just like an English statement. So what I say, initially SQL will be compared with PHP. No, it is not matching. In the next iteration, next what will happen, SQL will be compared with this SQL, then it will say print S, it is present, right? So inside TU, I have PHP, SQL, C++. All the elements will be compared with this SQL. If any one element is having an exact match, then I will print yes, it is present. Right? So that's what is happening in conditional statement. Now we have a method like in list. The len method is used to find the number of elements in a list. I have the same method len, which is used to find number of elements in a tuple. This len function is used here as len of tu, where tu is my tuple consisting of 3 data items, python, turtle, tkinter. So when I say len of tu, the len function will give me the output as 3, saying that my tuple is having 3 items, right? As already said, tuples are immutable and you cannot remove the items from a tuple also. So for I say that you cannot add items into it. The same way you cannot remove items from a tuple also. But we can delete the tuple entirely. That is, I'm removing the entire data structure, right? Along with its elements, its instance, its object, everything. For example, if I have tu is equal to py3, php, sql, what will happen? If I say del tu, the del tu will delete the entire object of tu. If after deleting, if you print tu, you will get an error that name tu is not defined. Why? Because I have deleted it completely. So its instance is not present in the compiler. Similarly, I can also get a new tuple by adding 2 tuples. Here addition refers to concatenation. Like the same example I said in list video, you say 2 plus 3 which is actually 5. You say 2 plus 3, which is actually 5, adding two numbers. But if you say 2 plus 3, where 2 is a tuple and the 3 is a tuple, you cannot say plus is doing an addition. Here plus is going to do a joining operation where you will get 2 comma 3. It can say this as like a concatenation or joining or grouping or anything. Right here 2 plus 3 is joining two data structures. Here round brackets represent tuples. So it will give you 2 comma 3. Similarly, in this example, I got one tuple with 3 elements f comma r comma c and another tuple with 3 elements 1 comma 2 comma 3. When I use the plus operation here, I got f comma r comma c comma 1 comma 2 comma 3. So a joining operation has happened, right? So here you cannot find any append or extend operation. Why? Because those are object level methods which will update your tuple. Since you cannot change the values of the tuple once it is initialized, those updation methods are not present in tuples. Right? Python has two built-in methods that you can use on tuples. Right? Those are count and index. Since you don't have any updation methods, these are not updation methods. These are actually some counting manipulations. For example, if I have a tuple named data, which is having the values as 2, 4, 2, 8, 10, 2. Now I need a method to count the number of occurrences of data item 2. So what I will say, I'll have a variable count equal to data dot count of 2. So this count method is going to count how many times the data item 2 is present in this tuple. So it is 1, 2 and 3. So I got the result as 3. So this is how the tuple count will work. Similarly, I can also get index of a particular data item. For example, I'm having a vowel tuple A, E, I, O, I, U. Here, the index of A is 0, E is 1, I is 2, O is 3, and I have another I which is actually 4, and I have U which is actually 5. So what will happen if I need to access the index, or if I need to find index of a particular data item? Say for example, let me go with the index of I. I just say bubbles dot index of the element name. My element is I. I give that element I, and I will get the result as 2. This result is the first occurrence of the data item. If I have the data item occurring more than once, I will get the index of the first occurrence of that data item, right? That is what displayed here as 2. Why? Because index 4 is also having I, but I will get only the first index, first occurrence of the data item. Yes. So in these videos, we have discussed about the importance of tuples and its data items, accessing, indexing, everything. In the subsequent videos, we will see how to use it practical. We will have a hands-on session.